Hi guys, welcome back. I recently ran across a YouTube employment attorney who said something that hit me the wrong way. He said, if you hire me to represent you, I'm the one who's going to be managing your case. I went to a top law school, and I don't need you to tell me how to do my job. In fairness, based on the reviews I read, this person seems to be a good attorney, but I don't think I could ever trust anyone who told me that I had to check my voice and my brain at the door just to work with them. There are times in this process when we have to trust other people. I feel like I was constantly trying to figure out who can I trust and how far can I trust them. Today, I want to talk about that. Let's start with management. I did my best to resolve my complaint with NASA before I took it to EEOC. It took me a while to realize that NASA wasn't interested in resolving it. I figured it out when I realized they weren't playing by the rules anymore, not even their own rules, the ones in their written policies. After that, I knew I could trust them the same way I could trust a rattlesnake to be a rattlesnake. And while that was discouraging, it helped me anticipate their moves so I could protect myself better. And that paid off one day when my second-tier supervisor came into my office to offer me a transfer to get away from my boss. Here's how she proposed to do that: by transferring me into a lower-tier position that would make my boss my second-tier supervisor instead of my direct supervisor. In my mind, that just gave my boss even more power over me, and it gave her a cushion to absorb the consequences of whatever she wanted to do to me. My second tier said if I was interested in the transfer, I should email her, asking for it. She had to know I wasn't going to fall for that, so what was she really up to? I eventually figured it out. She was counting on me to do what I normally did in those situations, which was email her to document the fact that she had tried to transfer/demote me, knowing that at the same time, I'd be documenting the fact that NASA tried to separate me from my boss, but I said no. I think it's obvious that what they were offering wasn't an honest-to-goodness attempt to separate us, but I wasn't so sure that EEOC would see it that way. So I just let the whole thing go, and I never emailed her either way. And she never mentioned it to me again either, which was confirmation that she really wasn't trying to help me at all. She was trying to bite me. What about our coworkers? Can we trust them? Their testimony can definitely be helpful if they witnessed the discrimination, but they know that if management sees them trying to help us too much, they could become a target themselves. And that limits how much we can trust them. Every one of the witnesses in my case lied. The silver lining was that they didn't know the law any better than my boss did, so they didn't really know what kinds of lies were going to help NASA. They just repeated whatever my boss said about me. And while that hurt my feelings, it didn't really hurt my case that much. If anything, it helped me prove that my boss was gossiping about me behind my back and ostracizing me. What about EEOC? Surely we can trust them, right? Well, like most of you, I went into this process expecting that EEOC was going to be on my side. But what I quickly found out is that they're actually neutral. They have to be. Now, the people I worked with at EEOC were pretty amazing. Not all of us get so lucky. But lucky or not, we all have to work with the people who are assigned to our case and trust them to a point. But that doesn't mean we have to blindly trust everything they do. For example, in the federal process, Management Directive 110 tells us what each of those people is supposed to be doing at each step of the process. We can check them on that, and if we catch them doing things they're not supposed to, we can document that and ask questions. We don't want to pick at every little thing, but if it's something big, like our investigator missing a piece of evidence that can make or break our case, it's reasonable to document our concerns. What about our attorneys? I think for the most part, we can trust their knowledge about the law and their insight about how the courts work. And I think most of them at least try to serve our best interest, although their idea of what's in our best interest isn't always the same as ours. We have to be open to their ideas, but that's a two-way street. They should be listening to us, too. If they're not, how are we going to trust them? Here's where I think it pays to read reviews. Actual reviews, and not just the testimonials that firm publishes on their website. And it also pays to talk to several attorneys before we pay anyone a retainer. The one person in this process that we always have to trust is ourselves. That doesn't mean we're always right or that we don't have to consider what other people have to say. And it doesn't mean our judgment is always spot on. But in the end, our fight is about our voice and our rights. And we are the ones who are going to be most affected by the outcome, so we should have a vote. We have to take care of ourselves, and we have to advocate for ourselves by speaking up when we feel like we're being pushed down a path that isn't right for us. I'll see you guys next time. Till then, take care and hang in. Fight smart.